in a chilling tale that unfolded in the small town of Monroe, North Carolina. A seemingly loving father transformed into a monster, leaving behind a trail of horror and disbelief. This is the heartbreaking story of Zaria Jocelyn Burgess, a sweet 15-year-old girl whose life was brutally taken by the hands of her own father. Zaria was born on December 3, 2003, to Akeisha Pope and Joshua Lee Burgess, who were both young parents. Although separated, Zaria's parents managed to maintain a normal father-daughter relationship. At the age of 15, Zaria had just started her teenage years. By 2019, she was known as a pleasant and cheerful girl who always had a smile on her face. Zaria was eagerly anticipating her enrollment at Monroe High School. Being a devoted member of the school's marching band, she was always excited to participate in their shows. Due to her parents' separation, Zaria resided with her mother in Union County, North Carolina, USA. According to his social media presence, it seemed that Zaria's father was highly involved in his daughter's life. Their posts reflected a strong connection between them. Joshua constantly praised Zaria, fondly referring to her as his mini-me. He had an immense love for her and proudly expressed it, emphasizing her priceless and irreplaceable value. In one of his posts dating back to 2015, he wrote, "I love this little angel more than anything. Nothing beats quality time with my daughter." Looking at these pictures, it appeared that the two shared a normal and affectionate father-daughter connection. And that's why what happened next is so distressing and heartbreaking. On August 17, 2019, Zaria visited her father just like she usually did for the weekend. Her father's residence was located on the 5100 block of Hampton Meadows Road. Little did she know that this visit would turn into a horrifying nightmare that would shock an entire community. On August 18th, at approximately 9:24 a.m. local time, Joshua arrived at the Union County Sheriff's Office. He approached the officer on duty and expressed his intention to surrender himself. When asked for his name in order to check out any warrants, Joshua dismissed the idea, claiming there wouldn't be any. However, what he said next sent shivers down the officer's spine. He confessed, "I've committed a murder." During the conversation, Joshua gave the officer detailed information about the crime, including the victim's name and where the body was found. Burgess also disclosed the victim's identity and the address of the location, shocking the officer when they discovered that the victim was Joshua's daughter. In response, the police promptly arrived at the scene and unfortunately discovered Zaria's lifeless body. After her death, her body was sent for an autopsy in order to determine the cause of death. As a result, Joshua was promptly arrested for murder. Following the post-mortem examination, it was disclosed that Zaria was choked and subsequently her throat was cut after she passed away. According to the report, the victim was subjected to even more heinous acts, including 22 hours of sexual assault and torture by her own father before he ultimately took her life. As news of the tragic incident spread, Zaria's mother found herself unfairly targeted by online communities, facing unwarranted blame for her role in allowing Zaria to visit her father. Many questioned her decisions, even though there were no previous signs of abuse or red flags that could have predicted the monstrous act. Zaria's mother became a target on the internet, with numerous individuals asserting that she bore as much responsibility for her daughter's death as the actual killer. One woman explicitly stated, "That mother is innocent. Trust me, she needs to be called in for questioning. That man was showing red flags way before this incident. I mean, just look at him." Various others, claiming to be familiar with the family, alleged that Zaria was fearful of her father and didn't want to visit him over the weekend. Despite this, her mother reportedly encouraged her to go. While the veracity of this information remains uncertain, it seems unfair to place blame on a grieving mother for something that she could not have possibly foreseen. It's important to note that this was not the first time Zaria was visiting her father, and it was likely a court-mandated visit. Moreover, there were no previous reports of abuse or any signs that could have indicated Joshua's potential for such a heinous act against his own daughter. Joshua was accused of committing capital murder as well as several other serious crimes. The defendant entered a plea of not guilty. Following a 3-week court proceeding, Joshua was convicted of first-degree murder along with 1 charge of statutory rape, 1 charge of first-degree sexual exploitation of a minor, and 3 counts of statutory sex offense after 3 hours of deliberation. According to the law in North Carolina, if the jury's not in unanimous agreement for the death penalty, the defendant will be sentenced to life in prison instead. Joshua was sentenced to death by lethal injection by the jury, while also receiving a minimum of 76 years in prison for the murder of his daughter, Zaria. Following the sentencing, the sheriff issued a statement expressing the profound impact of Burgess's actions on Zaria's friends, family, and the local community. The sheriff stated, "Burgess stole Zaria from her friends, family, and local community. While we know Zaria is forever gone to us, we hope that today's verdict helps bring some closure to Zaria's family and friends, and we'll continue to keep them in our prayers each day." You might be pondering the reason behind this sudden occurrence. Even after years have passed, the exact details are still uncertain, but many people have different ideas about the subject. There's a belief among certain individuals that Joshua's actions of murdering his daughter were rooted in his white supremacist beliefs and were possibly fueled by a ritualistic motive. This speculation arose due to reported activity on Joshua's Facebook account. It was noticed that he had followed a page that appeared to be associated with a satanic group and had also expressed interest in pages that were known for their anti-black sentiments. Moreover, there's speculation suggesting that he might have been simply a mentally disturbed individual. But this doesn't address his mental state. Instead, it implies that he was inherently wicked. Several of his social media posts were found stating, "I have a strong preference for cutting individuals. Oh, I apologize. I actually meant objects. I enjoy cutting objects." Joshua claimed during his confession that his actions were driven by a desire for retaliation against Zaria's mother due to their strained relationship. However, investigators hold a different perspective on his motives, asserting that his primary driving force was rooted in lust and control. The actions of this father towards his daughter have greatly affected all the officers and detectives involved in the incident. It's challenging for anyone to fully understand the extent of the evil behind his actions. The sheriff highlighted the emotional toll, stating, "The details of this murder are indescribable, as every officer involved in this case is feeling the effects of what happened to this child." The heinous nature of Joshua's actions left an unforgettable mark on those investigating the case. The sheriff went on to express the lack of a logical explanation for why Joshua committed the acts that he's accused of. The killing of an innocent child was truly heinous, atrocious, and cruel. The brutality of the crime weighed heavily on the hearts and minds of people who heard about this tragic incident. As we reflect on the heart-wrenching story of Zaria, the deep sorrow persists. In this tragic narrative, the breach of trust by someone closest to the victim leaves scars that time cannot heal. Zaria's story serves as a stark reminder of the evil that can hide within seemingly ordinary individuals, highlighting the devastating impact on the lives of innocent children. If you found this video valuable, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and together, let's raise awareness about the need for vigilance and protection in our communities.